What's going on, family? This is Scrapbook Boxing Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. I want to take a look at Jack Britton, Ted Kid Lewis, 224 rounds, 20 fight series between these two men. Incredible. They called Jack Britton a boxing marvel, and you'll see why. As for Ted Kid Lewis, one of the most remarkable fighting records in boxing history. I mean, after all, 58 fights and 1911 alone. Let's learn more about Jack Britton and Ted Kid Lewis right here on a Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. Unbelievable fight series between these two men. Remarkable. Boxing marvel, Jack Britton, born October 14th, 1885. He died March 27, 1962 in Clinton, New York. He was 76 years of age at the time of his death. Stood 5 foot 8 inches, had a 70-inch reach. He was a welterweight and walked around 144 pounds. Now, Jack was an Irish-American descent, and he was managed by Dan Morgan. Fought from 1904 to 1930. He was a welterweight. He was in the ring with fighters such as Eddie Wallace and Ted Morgan. Fought an average of 15 times per year. February 3rd, 1921, he found himself in the ring with Dave Shade, Milwaukee, 10 rounds. February 17th, 1922, Dave Shade once again in New York, 15 rounds decision for the World Welterweight Championship belt. He would face Jacob Soldier Barfield 8 times, several no decisions, 1 4-round exhibition. Soldier Barfield from Philadelphia. He was some fighter. I have done profiles on Soldier Barfield, and I can tell you he had some fight career. But Jack Britton was also in the ring with William Bryan Downey. 4 times, 1 win, 3 no decisions. Found himself in the ring with Benny Leonard 3 times. June 25th, 1918, Philadelphia, 6 rounds. October 19th, 1917, New York, 10 rounds, no decision. But what was most remarkable was a fight June 13th, 1922, Bronx, New York. Jack Britton would win on a foul in 13 rounds. Welterweight championship belt. You see, Benny Leonard would hit Jack Britton, knock him down clean, but he would hit him while he was down. And that would cost Benny Leonard an opportunity of Jack Britton's welterweight championship belt. Jack Britton will remain welterweight champion of the world. He would find himself in the ring with Mickey Walker twice. July 8th, 1921, Newark, New Jersey, 12 rounds, no decision. Would face Walker once again November 1st, 1922, New York, 15 rounds, and he would lose his world welterweight championship belt from Irish Mickey Walker. Now let's take a look at how Jack Britton even got that belt. Let's go back to the lineal line for a moment. October 16th, 1906, Honey Medley outpointed Joe Walcott, and he would win 15 rounds. April 23rd, 1907, Mike Twin Sullivan outpointed Honey Medley in Los Angeles, California, and he would win in 20 rounds. Now Sullivan outgrew the class, and the title was vacant. It was claimed by Jimmy Gardner, Jimmy Clabley, Ray Bronson, Clarence Kid Ferns, Mike Gibbons, Kid Graves, and Mike Clover. Now, Ted Kid Lewis and Jack Britton for several years, but none of them was recognized as suitable for the crown until Ted Kid Lewis established his claim in 1915. On August 31st, 1915, Ted Kid Lewis would outpoint Jack Britton in Boston, Massachusetts, 12 rounds, and this was the first of several bouts between these men. 1919, Jack Britton would KO Lewis in a clinch, and that would be one of the most amazing fights between the 20-fight series that these men would have. March 17th, 1919, Jack Britton knocked out Ted Kid Lewis in Clayton, Ohio. 9 rounds. November 1st, 1922, Mickey Walker would outpoint Jack Britton at New York's Madison Square Garden. 15 rounds. And Mickey Walker would become the welterweight champion of the world. Now, he would split that victory with Pete Latzo. And he would eventually put that belt up for grabs because he wanted to move up to the middleweight class to take on Harry Greb. But he would eventually defeat Tiger Flowers. 1926 for the middleweight championship belt. Now, Jack Britton would face Ted Kid Lewis. They would have a 20-fight series, 224 rounds of boxing. Ted Kid Lewis had a fighting record of 129 wins, 32 losses, 80 knockouts, 14 draws, several no decisions. Jack Britton, 104 wins, 29 losses, 30 knockouts, 20 draws. They would fight between 1915 and 1921. They fought 3 times, June 1917, the 6th, the 14th, and the 25th. 1915, Jack Britton was 30 years old. Ted Kid Lewis was 22 years old. March 26th, Britton would win. August 31st, he would win. September 28th, he would win. 1916, Jack Britton was 30 years old. Ted Kid Lewis was 23 years old. January 20th, Britton won. February 15th, he won. April 24th, Britton would win. October 17th, Britton would win again. November 14th, it would be a draw. 1917, Britton was 32 years of age. Ted Kid Lewis was 24. March 26th, Britton would lose. June 6th, Jack Britton would lose. March 26th, Ted Kid Lewis won. June 6th, he would win. June 14th, he would win. And June 25th, he would win. All in 1917. 1918, Britton, 33 years old. Lewis was 26 years old. March 6th, Britton would win. May 2nd, it would be a decision in behalf of Jack Britton. June 20th, he would win. October 3rd, Jack Britton would win. See, Jack Britton was a remarkable fighter. His issue, he was a very good boxer. And Ted Kid Lewis couldn't handle the jab or the foot movement of Jack Britton. But yet they'd be in there several times and they would give the crowd all what they asked for. 1919, Britton was 34 years old. Lewis was 26. March 17th, Britton would win by knockout. July 28th, he would win on a decision. 1921, Britton was 36 years old. Lewis was 28 years old. February 7th, he would win. Unanimous decision. Ted Kid Lewis, they called the Abgate Sphinx, was born October 28th, 1893, St. George, London, UK. He died October 20th, 1970. He was 76 years of age at the time of his death, and he would reside in St. George, London, United Kingdom. He stood 5'7.5", 69-inch reach. He was a welterweight. He walked around between 116 to 166 pounds in his career. Fight record, 238 total bouts, 192 wins, 78 knockouts, 32 losses. He was stopped 6 times and had 14 draws. He created the first and would wear the only mouth guard that was in existence at that time. That time they called it gum shield or gum shoes. He was in a ring with Roland Todd twice. Benny Leonard, he would have a draw with Benny Leonard. Dyer Downey, Soldier Barfield, Johnny Griffiths, Matt Wells would fight him twice, 1 win and 1 loss. Mike O'Dowd, he would defeat him 10 rounds, newspaper decision. Willie K. O'Brien, January 1st, 1916, would have a 10-round draw. Tommy Milligan, March 19th, 1925. He would lose on a disqualification at the Royal Albert Gate. George Carpentier, he lost in 1 round. He got knocked out right on the chin and was scheduled for 20 rounds. May 11th, 1922. He would face Benny Leonard September 23rd, 1918. 8-round draw. Now, Ted Kid Lewis, 19 fights with 2 losses in 1910. 58 fights and 3 losses, 1911. 39 fights, 4 losses in 1912. Incredible. I want to take a look at Jack Britton's career. He has his own scrapbook. And he was such a remarkable fighter, I dedicated a book to him and him alone. Let's take a look at Jack Britton, right here on the Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. Ted Kid Lewis. Incredible welterweight he was. And we're going to take a look at a scrapbook of Jack Britton. But I wanted to show you Ted Kid Lewis, along with his fight records. Because Ted Kid Lewis was really a remarkable fighter. He really was. And he's another fighter that doesn't get exposure like he should. And here you have Jack Britton. Let's look at their fight series for one moment. This is incredible. This is absolutely remarkable between these two men. First, we'll take a look at Mickey Walker, Toy Bulldog, as he takes the crown away from Jack Britton. It was a sad night in New York. Mickey Walker was from Elizabeth, New Jersey. Jack Britton was a veteran. In that 20-fight series with Ted Kid Lewis was the highlight of the spectators' lives during that time. As you can see here, Jack Britton was 37 years old. And he had his time. But he was in there in New York's Madison Square Garden with Elizabeth, New Jersey's Mickey Walker. They call him the Toy Bulldog. Mickey Walker left some legacy behind. He's been in the ring with everyone. He would lose to Harry Greb. 1925, 1926, he would defeat Tiger Flowers and become the middleweight champion of the world. But before he would do any of that, he'd be in the ring with Jack Britton. He would take his crown and become the brand new welterweight champion of the world. Jack Britton retains the crown and outpoints Ted Kid Lewis. 15 rounds. I'll tell you, this is a time when boxing was really boxing. You have Ted Kid Lewis to your left. And to your right, you have Jack Britton. Ring announcer Joe Humphreys had witnessed, along with spectators, a fight series that would be no under. Just wanted to give you somewhat of an idea. Jack Britton and Ted Kid Lewis. Remarkable fight series they had. You got a chance to see Jack Britton and Mickey Walker as well. I'm Scrapbook Boxing, Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. All great fights and all great fighters will never be forgotten on my channel. Salute to my subscribers. Salute to the 10,000 spectators that were in the building to witness Ted Kid Lewis and Jack Britton. Salute.